All right. What's going on, party people? This your man Grill. Another quick video here. So it's going to be a little bit of it's going to be a two-parter. So the last part is going to be dealing with the title, talking about getting seen by signing companies. The first part here is going to address not even, I mean, we're just going to talk about the conclusion of that power of attorney that I was doing. Okay. I'm going to show y'all a couple of things. Because one of the things that you need to understand is that sometimes you may not be able to use the notarial certificate inside of the actual documents. You have to add your own. So I'm gonna show y'all what I did. Um, but again, like, share, comment. Thank you very much. If this information is doing you some good, hit the like button. If it's really doing you some good, hit the super thanks over here, and I greatly appreciate it. All right. So as y'all saw the other video, I'll link a little thing right here, to so you can just click on that and look if you didn't see the first one. And it just talks about the how I got into the power of attorney for today, the one that I did today. So I went out and did it. Everything was smooth, no issues whatsoever. This gentleman was probably one of the few that actually signed everything and didn't make a mistake, didn't miss dating, nothing. I mean, there was no mistakes whatsoever. He did a great job. So really appreciate he did good. He did real good. But there was a couple of times where I actually had to add notarial certificates because bottom line, it wasn't enough space for me to write out the verbiage that I had to write out. So let me just show y'all what I'm talking about. So here's one of the notarial certificates that I had to that was in the closing packet. So of course you got the state of, county of, the date here, and then before me the unsigned notary for the jurisdiction aforesaid, and it's talking about me, the undersigned notary, for this up here for this jurisdiction aforesaid, which means prior to this point, which is up here, person appeared within named, and I will put the name of the person here. Okay, well, this here is a this here is not long enough based off of the way I write to fit everything in there that I had to put in. So if you look at the first video, you'll know what I had to put in there. So if this area here is too small based on your handwriting, or just too small based on how much information that they have in a power of attorney, because sometimes you can do a power of attorney for two that have one person, one person signing for two individuals. So that would be his name by her name, that person's name by the agent's name, attorney in fact, twice. And that means you got to put that in here twice. You got to put that in here twice. And if you don't have enough space, what are you gonna do? Well, this is where I added a jurat. I mean, in this case, it was an acknowledgement. And as you can see, I filled it out, and to make it simple, I typed everything in. Then I printed a bunch of copies out and stuff. So, the person who is the principal by the agent as attorney in fact for them. So I had to put all of this in here, and it wasn't enough room based off of the way I write. So that's what I had to do. On the jurat, which I got, and these I got from the NNA. This here I had to double stack it in order for it to fit. It did. So, and then this here, oops, I'm sorry. I'll go back to that one. And then here's another one where it just wasn't enough room. Up right here, it just wasn't enough room. Additionally, wasn't enough room for my stamp. I might have been able to squeeze it in over here, but primarily because this wasn't large enough, I didn't even mess with it. Didn't even mess with it whatsoever. Could I might have put the stamp here? I could have, but if I can't get the name here, There's no need. Now, do I write, something here, see attached and all of that? You could. It's up to you. You can always give them a call and ask them, do they mind you doing that? Because some companies do, some companies don't. Same thing here. And this here had all the space I wanted, but this was too small. And then this one actually had enough space for me to do what I needed to do. So I used it. So I put um the date, here. I put all that verbiage and everything about the POA and all of that here. I put the driver's license there, signed, printed name, expiration, stamp. Real simple, real simple. So that's what I was faced with tonight. Everything else was smooth with it. So I didn't have any problems whatsoever. So just stop the video, go back, look at that section again, and all that good stuff. Now, getting seen and getting selected. Um, I've talked about this as I keep sharing with y'all. There is no magic pill. Okay, people keep trying to sell y'all on this. If you do this, if you do that, you're gonna always be seen and all this, that, and the other. Some things may work, some things may not. Some things may work for just a small amount of time. Some things may work for a little bit longer than a small amount of time. But nonetheless, things are constantly changing. So this year, you might be seeing a whole lot by people by doing this one thing, and then other people, but then the next year, you might not be. So things change and adjust. Right now, the, the name of the game is experience, is showing people that you understand and know what to do. This is why I do these videos, so you can sit here and know what to do, and you could even talk about it. So if you just follow what I'm saying here, and you know that, okay, well, I know how to do a split signing. And in my opinion, if you know how to do, well, I've talked about split signing, but you know how to do a power of attorney signing. Now you know how to talk to it at least. You can at least talk to it, okay, to somebody who you're marketing to, okay. You can always bring it up, like if they're asking you for some experience and things, you say, well, yeah, I'm very familiar with power of attorneys, doing power of attorney closings, and they say, well, how would that go? What kind of verbiage you would do? Well, if I'm going to use, the verbiage will be dictated by the lender and the title company. So whatever they say, as long as it's in line with their state statutes, because we're not the ones that come up with the verbiage. Do you need to see the power of attorney? No, I don't need to see the power of attorney. As long as they put the proper verbiage on there, that's what I go with. And if there's no verbiage as to how they should sign, as we talked about in the first video, then you contact them to get clarification. Okay. But if you want to be seen and selected, you have to find a way in your profile to communicate to them that you have what it takes to do closings for them. If you cannot communicate to them, then they're not going to select you. They might see you, but they most definitely won't select you. And just the same as anything that you do in your life, the person who can confidently share with you that they have what it takes to provide you a good or a service, that's who you're going to spend money with. End of story. So that's it for the video, y'all. No, but that's the thing. A lot of people are like, well, how do I get seen by you? How do I get selected? Well, as I've shared many, many times, and a lot of people just ignore what I'm saying, this, you got to have some level of experience. This is what they want. In all honesty, as long as you got your commission, you should be able to do the job. But due to the fact that a lot of people are taking all of this erroneous training, and this erroneous training is causing notaries to make some great big errors, companies are cautious about just selecting you just because you came on the scene last week. That's nice. You all energetic. That's nice. You offer white glove service. That's nice. You know how to explain the documents, but do you know how to notarize them properly? That's the thing, because you spend more time learning how to talk about the documents than to notarize the documents, or as it's properly put, notarize the signatures on the documents. So you have to communicate that with them and get them to understand and believe that you know what the heck you're doing. But if you don't understand this business, that's where the problem comes in. You understand how to market, you understand how to get clients, but you don't understand what a notary is supposed to do. Therefore, it's going to be hard for you to speak to that in any kind of environment. All they're going to hear from you is what you're trying to sell them. They just hear a sales pitch from you. So if you want to be seen by companies, you need, in my opinion, you need to have a decent profile that communicates that you know what you're doing. It's that simple. Because some of these companies aren't going to Google looking for you. If you're in a database and they send the blast out, it comes back and you one of the first ones to hit that button, and they take a glance at your profile. What is the profile saying that's going to sell them on you? What is the profile saying? If your profile ain't saying much, but I'm a good notary and I got a stamp, we we can get them 500 to 500 of them per dime. Like they said, a dime a dozen. Well, you can get 500, 1,000, or 2,000. No, that's not impressive enough. Why should we select you? And even in your profile, you can say, "Here's the number one reason why you should select me," and then list it because I and you need to express that you understand the role of a notary and what you're supposed to do. Not all this. I used to be a chief in the Navy. I played basketball with AAU. I coach football. I take long strolls on the beach with my wife. Nobody cares about that. No, those companies don't care that you was a molecular engineer. They don't care. Can you notarize the signatures on the document correctly? Well, given enough time and figuring out a hypothesis, okay, no, next. They don't have time for that. So you got to be quick, fast, in a hurry, and you got to be able to communicate to them and show them that you are very reliable, you're very um, attentive and responsive. And if you're none of that, then why would they select you? You have to ask yourself, why would I select me? And it can't be the superficial stuff of what you did in a previous life, because what you did in a previous life might not support you doing it here. Okay. And it just may not. In some cases, it will, some cases, it won't. But you cannot just sit here and be like, hey, just select me because I took so and so's course. That might not be good enough nowadays. You got to get out here and do the business. Well, I don't want to take any orders for that dollar amount. Then you have no experience. It's that simple. So there's no magic way, there's no guaranteed way that you're going to always get seen. What makes you also get seen is the fact that somebody got some business and they're looking for a notary. To get seen, you need to also answer the phone, respond to emails, text messages, be available. Because if you're not, then you won't be seen. And the more available you can convince somebody that you are, the more they're going to look for you. Before I hopped on, I took a couple of orders. People look for you. If they want you, they will send an order for you. You click on it and it's like, oh, wow, I got it. And again and again and again. If you're talking about working direct, you're going to have to convince the gatekeeper, that front desk secretary, that you're worth listening to, that you have something that the company needs. You can provide a service, you can fill a gap in something that they have. That's how you help. That's how you get the title company when you're working direct to even mess with you, is that they need to see a benefit. What's the benefit of having you when we got 8 people in the back? When we don't really need you, but what benefit do we get out of having you on our payroll to some degree? And when you can't justify your existence to a company, they get rid of you. So that's what you have to do. You have to like, okay, here's how I can help you. Here's what I can do. And then you go do it. It's that simple, at least in my book. But I hope that cleared things up. If you're looking for 1, 2, 3 steps to getting orders, I don't do that kind of stuff. I just don't. That's just not me. Because the steps can be different depending on where you're at in your personality, and just really no set static steps, in my opinion, to do anything. But y'all have a good one, and greatly appreciate y'all. Talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good one. Peace.